Want to let District 18 know that on Thursday, February 15th, everyone is invited to Belmont Community Day. That will begin at 4:30 with women's basketball, followed by men's basketball, and all in the midst, there's hot dogs and popcorn and lots of little kids running around and face painting and other fun stuff. So it's a great opportunity for the community to be together. And on Saturday, February 17th, we will have a community meeting to discuss Belmont's institutional overlay. That will be sponsored by the planning department. That will be at Midtown Hills Precinct at 10 a.m. Most of the folks in the area have had the opportunity to see this institutional overlay draft, and this will be the final opportunity to discuss it before public hearings. I hope people will come out for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Swep, I believe you have a resolution. Proclamation, rather, I'm sorry. If the council members in the room would direct their attention to the back podium, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Come on up here, guys. So, on a good note tonight, and as a longstanding member of the Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elks, it is my privilege and honor to read into proclamation the 150th anniversary of the Benevolent Protective Order of Elks. I'm not going to read the entire proclamation because it would take 35 minutes, but instead I'm going to take the front and the back side. Whereas, on the 150th anniversary of the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks, we celebrate the founding of the order and the Nashville Franklin Elks Lodge 72 and the Madison Elks Lodge 2473 commitment to selflessly serving others in need across our great metropolitan Nashville area. And whereas, the Order of Elks was founded in New York City on February 16, 1867 by Charles Algernon, Sidney Vivian, and a handful of friends. The order has spread across the country with a current membership of over 7,900 Tennessee elk members in 29 lodges across Tennessee, with 2 of those lodges tracing their origins to the city of Nashville, where the Tennessee Performance Arts Center is now located. And whereas the Order of Elks is dedicated to charity, justice, and patriotism, and have distributed over the course of the Order's history more than $6 billion in cash, goods, and services to our nation's veterans, the disadvantaged, handicapped, and patriotic and civic groups. And whereas the Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elks has been and will continue to be a shining example of honor and service to neighbor, community, state, and nation. Through the years, the Elks has been responsible for aiding men, women, and children whose lives have been affected by extraordinary circumstances. No matter the cause of the disaster, flooding, explosions, earthquakes, fires, tornadoes, hurricanes, and epidemics, the Elks have been among the first organizations to lend a helping hand in troubled times. The order raised more than $1 million to help the families victimized by the horrific terrorist attacks of September 11th, and more recently, $25,000 to those affected by Hurricane Harvey in Texas. In times of crisis, it has been a long-held pattern for the order to ease the pain of others. And whereas, since the earliest days of the order, patriotism has been among the many hallmarks that make the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks stand out from their fraternal organizations. The Elks have always reverenced the American flag and the sacrifices made daily in honor of it. In 1907, Elks members adopted June 14th as Flag Day. In 1911, the order made it mandatory that all Elks lodges must observe Flag Day with appropriate ceremonies. On August 3, 1949, President Harry Truman, himself a member of the order, permanently designated June 14th as Flag Day. And whereas, these ideas were born of Americans who simply wanted to improve their communities while helping those in dire need. Some Elks went on to public greatness, such as Generals Dwight Eisenhower, Douglas MacArthur, George Patton, and John Pershing. Others became President of the United States, such as Warren Harding, Franklin Roosevelt, Harry Truman, John Kennedy, and Gerald Ford. And yes, hundreds have served in the halls of Congress, including the great luminaries Sam Rayburn and Tip O'Neill. And now, therefore, we, as the Council of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, hereby recognize February 16, 2018 as Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elks Day in Nashville and Davidson County, Tennessee, and that this great city honor this noteworthy day. And with that, please welcome Mike Press, who is the leading knight for my lodge, Elks Lodge 72.
Thank you, Councilman Swope. I'd hate to hear the long version of that. On behalf of the entire membership of the Nashville Franklin Lodge number 72, I would like to humbly thank the Mayor of Nashville and the City Council of Nashville for making February 16, 2018 the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks Day here in Nashville and Davidson County. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And from Madison Lodge 2473, please welcome Michelle Bass.
Thank you to all of you. I'm not going to repeat everything that he said, but thank you to everyone, and thank you for the honor. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now move to Council Lady Van Rees.
Thank you very much. Happy to see the Madison Elks Lodge here. Thank you very much for being here as well. It's fabulous. Excuse me while I pull this up. I was distracted. Today has been one of those distracting days. Just today. Not the whole week, just today. Okay. A lot is going on in District 8. Let me tell you about 2 or 3 of them. First of all, this Thursday, Coffee with NVR resumes. Be over at Sidekicks Cafe this Thursday at 8:30 a.m. I should be there, the lady with the maps in the side room. That will be me. Look forward to seeing folks at Sidekicks Cafe this Thursday at 8:30 a.m. No agenda, just conversation with maps. So I hope you guys can come. Also, this Saturday, Madison District 9, on behalf of Mr. Pridemore, is the host of the Neighborhoods Resource Center community-wide breakfast. And so if you're coming from all parts of town to the Madison area, we look forward to seeing you there this Saturday morning. Next Saturday morning, the 17th, also at the Madison Police Precinct, will be a Madison-wide community urban service district orientation. The time has finally come to understand what's going to happen with streetlights, trash pickup, and recycling. So if you're part of the new USD annexation in Districts 8, 7, or 9, please join us. Metro Public Works, the Nashville Electric Service, and Metro Waste Collector contractor Red River Waste Solutions will be on hand to provide information on services and answer questions. We will have plenty of them, so please come. The meeting will also have information tables from the Election Commission voter registration. The Davidson County Criminal Court Clerk will be there with information on expungement. Let's Move Nashville will be there, and Senior Right Nashville will be there, so you can get more information. It'll be a community-wide meeting, again, Saturday, February 17th at 10 a.m. at the Madison Police Precinct. That's over on Myatt Drive. Finally, district conversation will take place the following Saturday on the 24th concerning 512 East Campbell Road. That's the Corsi Farm on East Campbell. The Corsi family wants to hear from you about what you'd like to see happen on this open land off of East Campbell. So please join me the next 3 Saturdays in Madison, and I look forward to seeing everybody. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Council Lady. Councilman Freddie O'Connell.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple things I wanted to bring people's attention to. Tonight, as we are starting this announcement process from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Metro Office Building, as well as tomorrow from noon to 2 p.m. at the Bordeaux branch of the Nashville Public Library, there are public hearings for a disparity study being conducted by GSPC on behalf of Metro. So basically, if you have comments on the Metro procurement process, on doing business in Nashville as a historically disadvantaged business or enterprise, these public hearings are a way to share that information with GSPC and eventually with the Metro government on behalf of this study. Also, I did want to acknowledge that we are in the midst of celebrating Black History Month. We do so because Black Lives Matter, and there has not always been public recognition of this. One of my favorite celebrations of this idea is Metro Historic's Nashville Conference on African American History and Culture, which takes place almost all day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. this Friday, February 9th at TSU's Avon Williams campus. This is the 37th annual presentation of the conference. As ever, it is an ambitious program, but do try to attend even a portion if you can. They are covering a number of interesting topics. There is researching and preserving Nashville's early Black history from the Hermitage to Fort Negley, and one that I'm looking forward to, considering that a portion of my district bears his name, James Carroll Napier, Uplifting a Race, 1845 to 1940. So I do hope people will take advantage of that program as a part of the celebration of this month. And then finally, I wanted to invite the public to a ribbon cutting for MDHA's workforce housing project at 10th Avenue North and Jefferson Street. That will be Thursday, February 15th at 11 a.m. Please do come out and join us for that event. It will be great to have another part of our affordable housing toolkit materialize right on the Jefferson Street corridor in the wonderful Hope Gardens neighborhood. So thank you very much, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connell. Councilman Bednae.
My computer wouldn't start. Thank you, Pro Tem. First of all, I wanted to share a message from the Keep Southeast Nashville Healthy Group. There was the gas compression station is pulling a permit to build the station on Barnes Road, and they are asking for a variance to not to build the sidewalk and to place the money into the sidewalk fund, which, as we know, it doesn't really stay in the district. It'll go anywhere in the city. So the neighbors decided that they want not to grant the variance, and they just want the sidewalk to be built. So they attended the meeting at the BZA, and that meeting went on for a long time. They stayed like 5 hours there, and they were the last people at the meeting. And what happened is the BZA didn't have enough votes to decide, so they postponed the decision for the following meeting, which will be on February 15 at 1 p.m. at the Howard Office Building. So they are asking for people that agree with them to attend the BZA meeting. They say that the item will be first on the agenda, and if this is something that matters to people, in what I mean is if they are against the variance, if they want to see that sidewalk there so people can actually walk to the Greenway, that they should attend the BZA meeting. Again, that's at the Howard Office Building, located in 2nd Avenue and on the Fulton Complex, and it'll be at 1 p.m. And it'll be the first item. So you can go, have lunch downtown, go to the meeting, and then go home or go back to work. So that's one subject that I had to share. The other one is that I got good news today that the Orchard Park in our district, we have a brand new park that, thank you to all the council members, it got funded a couple of years ago, and it's getting built, it's getting finished. And I got a report from the park system that the playground and the Greenway Trail is going to be, including the loop around the multi-purpose fields, will open this summer. So people will finally have a place in the district to take their kids to play and to and the Greenway will get extended to that park, so that'll be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the multi-purpose fields won't be ready till spring 2019. So I just want to let people know that to keep on checking my Facebook page for the day when the park gets open and people can start using it. At a personal level, I just wanted to talk a little bit about, and I don't know if this is permitted pro term, but I think that we should take a breather about assuming that people are guilty until we have information.
Councilman, we
Yes.
have legislation, so we can't address that right now. We have legislation coming on the floor, and you'll have the opportunity then.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Councilman Hager.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Real quick, in District 11, I've got a meeting coming up this Saturday at 9 a.m. at the Berryville Baptist Church, 4301 Wood Street. The purpose of this meeting, along with State Representative Darren Jernigan, is a proposal to abandon about a 20-foot strip along Overview Boulevard in front of those houses. I think there's about 53 houses that are affected there. So that'll be at 9 o'clock at the Berryville Baptist Church, 4301 Wood Street. Everybody affected, I'd appreciate you attending that meeting. And then on February the 13th, I'm having a meeting at the Old Hickory Community Center. That's at 1050 Donaldson Avenue in Old Hickory. That'll be at 6 p.m., February 13th. And that'll be a community input meeting about the upgrades and redesign of the Old Hickory Community Center. I invite all the residents in District 11 to come out and look at that and make recommendations to the park people and all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I know that there are other council members who are wanting to come in but are still in the meeting. So I'll go ahead and share my quick one. In Bellevue, I have a really good sense of humor. And on March the 3rd at Chaffin's Barn Dinner Theater, I have agreed to be roasted. Yes, I have agreed to be roasted. And it's for a good cause because all the money raised will go to the Bellevue Community Fund that supports issues like the recent Creekwood fire and other things that happen to folks in the community. And this is the group that's right there ready on the spot to help. And so I thought that I would take my good sense of humor and let them abuse it. So March 3rd, Chaffin's Barn Dinner Theater, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you there, maybe, I think. Don't forget to announce that I'm in. Oh, yes. Yes, and the MC of the evening is standing to my left, the Vice Mayor. So he wanted to make sure that I shared that.